Hey, what's up, everybody? BDL44 coming at you with another video. I already got some thoughts about the playoff game that we have going on here between the Pelicans and the Suns. It is game 4, halftime. And honestly, the thought that comes to mind for me just in regards to this game is I guess the Pelican players are either emitting electric energy from their bodies or they got explosive attached to their elbows because anytime Jay Crowder touches anybody from the Pelicans, he explodes. I mean, he just flies off of him like he's getting shot by a shotgun or something. I don't know. But I do want the NBA, and I'm not mad at Jay Crowder for just doing what the environment allows him to do. He's not the first person to flop. He certainly won't be the last. He's doing what the job allows. It's a good strategy, but it's disingenuous, and the NBA should not allow it. Um, I think it becomes a situation where you start asking yourself, are we encouraging kids to take advantage of loopholes? Are we looking for kids to embellish and lie, to cheat and cheat to give themselves an advantage? Is that what we're teaching youngsters, that that's how they should handle the earth and business in the world? Because that's certainly what the NBA is telling them to do when they allow Jay Crowder to initiate contact. Initiate contact. Fly off of a guy so very obviously, in such a way where you know he's flopping, you know he's initiating the contact, you know he's flopping, and um, you know they called a foul on the player he's doing that to. I mean, we used to see Dennis Rodman and so many different players do it in the past, and you would think after all these years of seeing these players act like this, being stuntmen on the basketball floor, you would think the NBA would have done something to do something about it, but they've done nothing. They said they were going to cut back on the flopping. I see no evidence of such. Jay Crowder is causing all kinds of mayhem out there, and it ain't anything within, standing upright and doing what you're supposed to be doing. He is flopping. He is acting like he's supposed to be acting in terms of what the NBA is encouraging, and I just don't think it's the right thing. I don't think it's the right thing. Where does it end? Where does the example end? Maybe we should tell our kids to skim a little money off the top. Since, where does it end? At some point in time, we got to say, okay, he's cheating. You're allowing him to cheat, but it's still cheating. So that's what I think of the NBA in regards to all this flopping. One would think I'd be used to it, but watching this particular game, it just made me bring up the thought today. I'm tired of watching players do this. I don't want to see that. If a guy is going to flop off a contact that's coming his way to get the referees to see it, that's like me giving you an indication that something took place, because I know they won't call it unless I embellish. That's different. That's a different type of flop in my mind. I look at that differently. But I'm talking about guys who will entangle you, push your elbow up in the air, fall all backwards like they got hit, and they get called a foul on the person who's being the victim there. No, that should be a technical. You're doing some disingenuous nonsense to cheat. You should be getting a technical foul, and you should be giving the ball back to the other team. It should be one shot at the free throw line and the ball for any of that type of initiation of fouls. Delay of game. You're going to get a guy for touching the ball after it goes through the hoop, but you're not going to get a guy for flopping off of another guy like he has explosives on his shoulders. I mean, come on, let's just get our priorities right. Just like I don't like how they do the whole situation where they make us sit there and watch the back of the referees' jerseys as they stand there watching monitors for 20 minutes just so they could tell us they didn't see something that we see on the monitor above us. Like, come on, NBA. Selective officiating and allowed flopping is bullcrap. So that's what I want to say first of all. All right, so aside from that, I think the Pelicans have a 3-man team right now. It's Valanciunas, C.J. McCollum, and Brandon Ingram, and everybody else needs to help out on the scoring. Period. You're not getting enough scoring out of everybody else. It's 36 points in the paint coming from the Phoenix Suns at the half. That's too many points in the paint. I understand that you're dealing with Ayton, and he's eating just like he ate in the last game. You're going to lose, Pelicans. There's no way you're going to win a game if you let him eat that much in your paint. It's not possible. Cam Johnson has been very active, but his jump shot is not falling, and yet he still has 10 points, which means that jump shot's going to start falling. He's probably going to end up having a big game. So look for him in the second half to start seeing it fall. Cam Payne is playing really good with the minutes that he's been given. You got to give him credit. And the Suns spent most of this game down, but they were able to squeeze out the lead at the end of the quarter. Chris Paul's doing Chris Paul things as usual. But the real story, honestly, is just the disruption that Jay Crowder has created by checking in the game and flopping all over the floor constantly. And it's very irritating if you're not a Suns fan, and I am not. So, yeah, that's pretty much the story. Without all that nonsense, you got a pretty good basketball game here between two teams that are really trying. I like what I see out of Jose Alvarado. He's making his presence known on both sides. Really, really putting pressure on guys. I like what I'm seeing there. But I think coach is going to have to find a way to maintain a rebounding edge when Valanciunas sits down. Because what I saw out there was Herb Jones and Larry Nance having trouble on the boards. And I know both of those guys can rebound, but not over Ayton. And that's your problem. So you're going to have to find a way to keep Valanciunas on the floor, or something else is going to have to give, because they're having trouble out there holding down that front court with him down there. So that's a little something that I see. Yeah, I'm sure there's more to say, and I'm going to get back to you guys at the end of this game, of course, as we give a rundown of it. Brandon Ingram's still charging forward. You know, they're going to have to find some kind of way to slow him down. As of yet, I've seen nothing. So this is now going on game 3. 3 straight games where Brandon Ingram has pretty much looked unstoppable. I'm curious to see what they do in the second half, but I'm telling you, this is a 2-1 series. Obviously, right now, the Suns only up by like 3 or 4 points at the half. This is not a great sign for the Suns. Not in terms of them getting out of this series, and not in terms of them being a team that can win a championship. I'm not seeing it. I understand the Pelicans are provide some things that the Suns have trouble with, and no, Devin Booker is a big deal, but they're having trouble with Brandon Ingram. What the heck are they gonna do with Jason Tatum? Like, what the heck are they? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where my mind. What are they gonna do with Giannis? What are they gonna do with the Splash Brothers? They're having trouble with Bi. And look, I'm the guy that respects Bi. I think that Bi could be as great as any of those people, if not greater, maybe. Who knows? But that's not the point. The point is, if the Suns is supposed to be this colossal defensive team, I ain't seeing it. I'm not seeing it at all. So take that for what it's worth. So I'm gonna watch the second half of this game, and I'm very curious to see what we're gonna see here. Thank you guys for watching BDF 44. I'm out.